Oh, he shanked it.
I took this golf tournament so seriously that before I even teed it up for my first round, I went and had an emergency golf lesson.
Graham, I suck at golf.
Trained hard to increase my swing speed, saw a physio to loosen up my body, called my mum for some words of encouragement.
Just try not to suck too much, Paul.
I'm even arriving 3 days before the competition starts to have 2 practice rounds. And perhaps the craziest thing of all, I took the driver out of my bag. Story Creek might well be the most hidden gem of a golf course in the world, but it's a real test of your game. Tight fairways encased in old growth trees, greens with more undulations than you could possibly imagine, and every tee shot requiring an assassin level of accuracy just to stay in play. Over 3 days of competition, I'll be taking part in their men's amateur tournament. With my index now at 5.6, this week I'll be playing off a 5 handicap, and you'll be able to see how well I did in this one single video. And if you enjoy watching this, remember to hit the subscribe button to be notified about when I upload my next video. The focus for practice round number 1 would be the tee shots on 5 potential nightmare holes.
I'm at the first tee, ready for my practice round. I also got a golf cart because we're taking things seriously and I need to conserve energy. But how can you take it even more seriously on the golf course? I'm about playing with a launch monitor on some tees, yeah.
With bunkers placed in the middle of the landing zone and thick trees left and right, we'll start on the first hole.
I got to figure out if it's 3-wood or 2-iron. Well, that is perfect. So that's carried 231. Ooh, it's getting a bit left. That is in the bunker. That was 213 carry. 2-iron landed pretty much square in the middle of these 2 bunkers. And 3-wood is in the dream spot. I think 3-wood just kind of taking most of it out of play here.
Hole 2, dog legs to the left, and might well be the trickiest one on the course.
I feel like last year, 3-wood almost actually went too far and I pulled it over those trees on the left. Okay, that's perfect. It's gone over the trees. No, short of the trees. It hit the trees. Oh, that's so good as well. Carried 214 off the heel. And it just went 240. Yeah, 2-iron for sure.
Going too far on the 9th will put you in the water, but too short and you're left with a really long second shot.
Far tree is the target. Terrible strike. Yeah, 160. Good job. That's a great strike. That went nowhere. Okay, 207 and down. Literally landed right there. This says it went 220. Oh, be the club, be everything that you said it was going to be.
Hole 11 is the definition of a risk and reward short par 4. Laying up nicely does leave just a short wedge in, but goalpost to these trees and you could be in for a treat.
5-iron, straight to the back. That's perfect. Yeah, I didn't hit that very well. That carried 176. And then, if things go to wrong, you pull out a 3-wood and you try and drive this. Let's try it. Oh, hit the tree. That was 226 carry though. I didn't hit that great.
Hole 14 ruined every round of mine last year. In fact, there are potentially 3 different clubs that I could hit off this tee box.
Oh, 180. I think I saw it bounce. Okay, that's ripped. 211. That was 197. Hybrid was 211. Wow, that was just. Yeah, yeah. It leaves me 150 yards of pin at the front. It's definitely 2-iron or hybrid, isn't it? Now, while I felt kind of like a bit of a turd taking the launch monitor out on kind of every tee box, it was actually really useful seeing just how far they carried and then how far they rolled out. Yeah, that was 190. That was not a good hit. Oh, that'll do. 230 carry. So 3-wood ended up going 255, and the 2-iron badly hit actually went 230 in that bunker. So maybe just like a 2-iron would actually be quite sick on this hole. But let's look at the round, because the front 9 was exceptional. 1 under. That's 4 birdies. And break. Birdie number 1. Not today. Golf is just easy. Wow, birdie on every par 5 so far. That's an under par 9, that is. I birdied every par 5 on the front 9. Who needs a driver? Tactics already paying off. Now the problems obviously came on the par 3 tee shots, which I sucked at. Oh, bad swing. I flushed that as well. It still came up like 20 yards short of what I was expecting. The greens were really soft. Like on the second, I landed it pin high and it span all the way back off the green. It's literally where my ball landed. It spun all the way off the green. Seems a little bit ridiculous with that shot that I hit. And of course the other thing is that the undulations on these greens, you probably can't tell from camera, like it's steeper in real life. The one rule I've made for myself is that there's more break than I think there is. But then the back nine did not go to plan because I shot 8 over par. Oh, get there. Oh, that might not be hard enough. Oh, sit. Oh, it's too much now. Classic. Ah, I'm alive. Oh no, this is you. Oh, shut up. This is the worst lie of all time. Oh, it bounced out. Okay. Sit. Oh, it might be alright actually. Come back. Oh, if that cut. Ah! But where did that come from? Like, honestly, there were just like a couple of bad breaks. Like on 11, I ended up in a hole. It will do something. Oh, that was annoying. 12, I got a mud ball on my third shot. Oh no, it's got a mud ball on it. Like it just flew off the wedge and then just went. I swear I'm like a plus golfer, plus handicap golfer, when I'm in absolute nightmareville. So this has gone 230 and I've only got 150 yards in, but obviously terrible light. So I'm gonna hit a 7 iron. That's so good. Oh my God, be the club. That's probably the best shot of the day. It was so humid that I was just sweating like nobody's business. One thing I did do is on the front nine, I had an electrolyte tablet in my drink, but then I just switched to water for the back nine. I'm getting a bit tired and I've been sat in a golf cart doing literally nothing. Oh. And I think that's probably the problem. I've been drinking so much. But I just felt kind of very slow moving. That could be to do with the cart as well. I kind of hate sitting in the cart for ages, and then I prefer walking. I'm gonna walk in the competition. Yeah, don't like carts. So yeah, 79, and I felt like I played pretty average. That is perfect. Apart from the front nine, obviously, that was sick. Okay, I'm gonna risk it and say, watch this. But it'll do. So what I'm gonna do now before today's round, go and do some band work, go and do some swing speeds training, because that's scheduled for today. Spend some time with some therapy dog. That's going to be crucial for my mental health. And then I'm going to go to the course, practice chipping, and then long putts. Just figure out long putts, and that could have been a 75. Day 2 has just finished. And for the standards of a 35-year-old, it's really late. In fact, it's 10 to 9. My tee-off time today was like 2:30, and I was a bit like, oh, that's kind of a bit late, isn't it? But I thought, oh, I'll have all that time to practice all the things like chipping and long putts. I did neither of those things. Instead, I arrived about 45 minutes before I teed off. I thought I was meant to be trying really hard in this. I did not. Anyway, second practice round, I thought I was playing absolute garbage, if I'm honest. But then I've looked at the statistics. Look at that. Hey. I have never had positive strokes gained on approach. Today I was really just kind of committing to my club choices, I guess, of all the tees that I learned yesterday. And I'm pretty happy with all of them, I think. The only one would be like the par 5 4th. I might just hit a 3-wood off that. 2-iron didn't run at all. 3-wood averaged 250 yards. 2-iron was averaged 230. One thing I really discovered and actually put into practice today was how much it's flying out the rough. On this one hole, I had like 150 yards to the flag. I'll just hit my 9-iron, which is like my 140-yard club. And it was pin high. However, something I haven't figured out is long putts. I've just been finding that they're just really quite slow. And I don't know if they're slow or it's me just completely screwing it up. Maybe they're gonna absolutely roll the crap out of them all night and in the morning. Tomorrow they're gonna be really fast. All right, let's like compare today to yesterday in terms of like the bare facts. I only hit 30% of the fairways. What this is telling me is, hey, Paul, you can score better if you hit it into the fairway. But greens in regulation was pretty good. 56%, that's kind of average. Putting was just absolutely atrocious. I hate riding in golf carts. My left glute is just getting really tight from just sitting down, and it was a really long round today. Took 4 hours and 40 minutes. You know, we scored 80.
which is somehow only 1 shot more than yesterday. I guess there were no doubles. Wow, no doubles. It's actually pretty good, I guess. Putting, like 33 putts, but it felt atrocious. Like, that's only 33 putts because sometimes I was just off the green, you know? The round was taking so long, I just kind of stopped filming the back nine. I was like, maybe I'll just play golf. We'll figure this out. Less than 25 yards and 25 to 50 yards, I actually gained strokes for the first time in ages. And that was out of the rough. So there you go. Yeah, it's just par 3 tee shots. Need to figure it out, I think. My goal for the first day is just to try and hit the middle of the green. So I've just had my dinner, gonna have a shower. I'll do a massage again, that'll be much easier. And go to bed, because I really need a good night's sleep. I was very ratty today on the golf course, and I think it's all because of a bad night's sleep.
Time to see how all that preparation worked out, because here's how the first day went. Hole 1, par. Hole 2, birdie. Hole 3, lost first tee shot, made birdie with the second ball, bogey. Hole 4, par. Hole 5, par. Hole 6, par. Hole 7, par. Hole 8, par. Hole 9, bogey. Hole 10, par. Hole 11, bogey. Hole 12, quadruple bogey. Hole 13, bogey. Hole 14, par. Hole 15, triple bogey. Hole 16, bogey. Hole 17, par. Hole 18, birdie. And to figure all that out, let's have a look at the stats.
You know what? We don't even have to use the stats. It was so obvious. If you assume that I didn't lose any of the balls, didn't have any of the penalties or whatever, that's 8 shots. The actual times I hit the golf ball doing golf, 8 shots. That's 74. I lost 5 golf balls. 4 of them were off the tee. 4 shots, just whoopoo. Par the first, birdie the second, and I'm like, yeah, here we go. We're not going to go through the scorecard. We're not going to do it. 1 over on the front with a freaking lost ball. But then we get on the 12th. And also, I've got to say, I've got a great group. Johnny, he has a caddy, Matty, and then Mikey. So everyone basically ending in EY. I offered to be called Paulie even, but we're on 12. And Mikey just turns around and says, last year, I was 5 off the tee on this first hole. And that was just in my brain. I've been crushing it. Lost 2 balls off that tee. It's brutal. But then to lose the tee ball on the 15th, that's such a wide fairway. It's a massive fairway. Didn't rotate, etc. So here's a great fact. We're gonna finish on some good facts here. The 18th in this competition, I've always been under par. The first 3 rounds of last year, I went birdie, birdie, eagle, and then I birdied it today. Oh, it's just so painful. You've seen the stats already. I'm gonna put them up again. Right, I'll move over. If I compared myself to a 5 handicap today, I beat me on approach, I beat me on short game, and I beat me on putting. 5.5 shots off the tee. Let's compare it. Let's pull the scratch up. Okay, there it is. Look at that. I putted better than a scratch golfer today. I had short game better than a scratch golfer today. -2 shots on approach. You know, that's incredibly more improved than usual. Tee shots, 8 strokes. Anyway, that's golf. Leaderboard. Gross is just like a thing completely outside the remit of anything. No skins. Did wonder about the birdie on the second. I should check. There've only been 2 birdies. So close to a skin. I should explain what skins are. If you got the lowest score on that hole in your category, so I'm in the mid-flight, which is handicaps 5 to 10, then you can win a bunch of money. There have only been 6 skins today, so that's probably a couple $100 in net, which is, let's be honest, this is what we're going for. This has got the trophy on it. Leader so far on net is -3. I am 5 over, so I'm 8 shots back. Tied 38th on net. It's not great. It's not out of the question. Oh my God, 8 shots. I would have been leading. The weather forecast isn't great, and we're off at 7:39. A lot of the time, these weather forecasts have been very wrong, so I'm sure that tomorrow is going to... It's raining. It's raining quite a lot. Radar is kind of quite promising though. I'm gonna go pants. I've also got towel for inside the umbrella to keep my hands dry. Top tip for my buddy Jace. Thanks Jace. Got waterproof. Also got a cup of tea prepared to keep me warm. Look at the radar. Well, now it says it's not gonna rain at all. Thunderstorms possible after 1 PM. So I might actually have a bit of an advantage, but it's definitely drizzling. It's just gonna be lots of punch shots. Gonna go and get a quick warm up, get that putting dialed in again. Hopefully not make a quad or a triple today. Wait, I didn't have any doubles yesterday. Bogey, double bogey, double bogey, 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 bogey. And at this point, I stop recording. because bogey, par, eagle. Yeah, you heard. After all that, I eagled the 18th. That did actually win me a skin. I've won 125 bucks, and you'd think that would recover the round, but bogey, par, bogey, 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 quadruple bogey. I'd completely given up at that point. Bogey, bogey, par for an 88. Needless to say, I'm completely gutted. I really wanted to do well in this tournament. And especially after the first round, it's like, yeah, I had a bunch of nightmares. I was still doing it apart from those nightmares, so I thought that today I could recover. But I just couldn't. There were a bunch of things. There's one main one, which I'll say at the end, but let me just reel off the stupid excuses. My alignment was terrible. I had no idea where I was aiming and then where it went. My irons, almost shanked a whole bunch of them, but mainly I was like, just had random slices. Same with the 3-wood. Let's just talk about the eagle, because I hit the 3-wood, 275 yard, which is a monster. I was on a side hill lie. I had like 225 to the flag. I caught it kind of fat, to be honest, and then I ended up pin high in a bunker, and I holed the bunker shot. Kind of like Tiger as well. It rolled in like one more revolution and it just went in. Let's not be completely depressing on this one. So number one problem was that the wind, I counted it, changed on me 7 times when the ball was in mid-flight. Example of this is on the 11th. I thought the wind was into us on the tee, and it was for a minute. Tees were all the way back, so I hit 2-iron, and then the wind switched, so it was behind us, so I guess it went a bit further. I mean, look at this ball. It's run inches too far, and it's ended up into this bunker, which left me with a nightmare lie. And honestly, that kind of happened a whole bunch, but mainly on the greens, because my putting, statistically, it was terrible. I had 37 putts. Look, I mean, you can see how many strokes I lost on putting alone. And I counted it up, and I had 11 lip outs 11 times. But the overarching problem was the early morning tee time. Now, I'm going to share that earlier this year, I finally got diagnosed with ADHD. Now, it's really a thing that is very much like an iceberg, you know, that iceberg visual where you only see a little bit, but actually there's a whole other things under there. And one of the things that I struggle with is early mornings, especially if I have like a deadline appointment and I have to do lots of other things beforehand. As I talked about with the weather, and that rain and thunderstorm just kept getting pushed back more and more and more. When these little problems, which to you, if you probably don't have ADHD, might seem completely ridiculous for me to say that it's like a big problem. Uncertainty of the weather really affected like what clothes I was gonna wear and what shoes I was gonna use. And I was just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I wasted so much time doing that I had to just rush my warm-up routine. Then I arrived on the tee. The only way I can describe it is when you shake a snow globe up and everything's moving around and everything's not settled. And that's kind of how it was. And I just started questioning everything that I was doing. So it was really hard. The second worst round I've had in 2 years. I'm like halfway down the pack in gross, and I'm even further down the pack in net. So I guess I'm just gonna try and have as much fun as I can. I'm gonna go for literally everything. So let's just go and have some fun today.
The only thing I'm here for today is birdies and eagles. Let's win some skins and see what I was able to pull out of the bag. Hole 1, bogey. Hole 2, par. Hole 3, bogey. Hole 4, par. Hole 5, bogey. Hole 6. Actually, I gotta stop and show you this thing that happened on hole 6. Here is one of my fellow competitors putting his tee ball in the wrong place. Now, normally they have these boxes for old discarded tees right up against the marker, but for some reason on this hole, they didn't. And he put his ball in the wrong place and unfortunately got a penalty. But anyway, back to my score, made a par. Hole 7 par, hole 8 birdie, hole 9 just a hell of a birdie. Listen to this one.
Really pulled my second shot. Ended up here. I hit the pitch, thinned the shit out of it, landed exactly where I wanted to, and just hit the pin and went in. One over for the front. Come on.
Hole 10 bogey. Hole 11 bogey. Hole 12 quadruple bogey. I know, I can't believe it. Literally did the same thing as before. Hole 13 par, hole 14 birdie, hole 15 bogey, hole 16 bogey.
Oh, that's freaking hammered.
Hole 17 double bogey, hole 18, no, the dream is over. I bogeyed it. In the end, I finished 74th in gross and 82nd in net out of 156 people. Unfortunately, those 3 birdies didn't get me any skins either. I guess no matter how much you prepare for a golf tournament, there's always going to be something that's probably going to mess you up. Man, tournament golf frustrates me. Can't wait to do it again next year. If you like this video, then make sure you're subscribed to the channel to catch the next one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the course.
I'll do.